Good evening. Excuse me. Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Village of Gurnee Planning and Zoning Board for this Wednesday, October 17th, 2018. We have roll call, please.
Bow.
Here.
Garrity.
Here.
McFarland.
Here.
Nordentoff. Path.
Here.
Paysack.
Here.
And Sula.
Present. We do have a quorum. If everyone would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our meeting that was held on September 5th. Does anybody have any questions or comments about those minutes? Not a motion to... Yeah, go ahead.
Was it September 5th?
I'm doing them one at a time.
Yeah, you know, I don't have anything on that one.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next one is the minutes from the meeting that was held on the 12th of September. Tim, did you have a comment on that?
I did. I'm listed here as both an aye and a nay.
Oh, that's good. You couldn't make up your mind?
So it was
Where?
the correct is a nay.
Yes.
Where at?
Under roll call vote,
Oh, gotcha. Okay, good catch.
twice.
Any other questions or comments?
Mrs. Sparkle, totally.
Motion to approve would be in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
As amended.
As amended.
Okay.
Second.
Second by Mr. Garrity. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is a request for a minor sign exception for 6071 and 6021 Washington Street. This is a minor. That means that we make a decision, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Clara, staff report?
Yep. The sign ordinance stipulates that wall signs must be installed on walls associated with tenant space. Mr. Dan Rydell and Dr. Honey, owners of the property and buildings located at 6071 and 6021 Washington Street, are seeking a minor sign exception as part of an amendment to the master sign plan to allow the relocation of wall signs for 2 tenants in each building whose tenant space does not have interior walls that abut Washington Street. Please note that this minor sign exception application does not increase the number of wall signs allowed per building, nor does it increase the size of the allowed signs. It requests the relocation of 2 allowed signs per building. A minor sign exception can be granted by the Planning and Zoning Board if they find that the number, size, design, and placement of all proposed signs within the development are consistent with the stated purpose of the sign regulations. The Planning and Zoning Board has the final decision-making authority in this matter.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and we have just put together a little slideshow here to show you what the signs, where the locations of the signs would be as proposed. So this is the first building here, the 2 signs facing Washington Street. The Dexafit sign was put there mistakenly. It was supposed to be on the other side of that, and that's kind of what started this.
Okay.
So then this is the south side of that same building.
So signs would or would not go there?
So if you, sorry, I didn't explain that well. If you look at the blue rectangles, those are where potential sign locations would be as proposed by this amendment.
But then
So
I'm asking-
all this does is show you on each elevation where signs can be, or how many signs can be on each elevation?
And they won't
These would be
necessarily.
within the ordinance as it stands.
These are all signs that would be allowed. The only thing that's being discussed today is the ability to place it on signs not associated with the tenant space, on sides of the building not associated.
Okay.
So,
And that, from my perspective, that part of the ordinance is more directly related to multi-tenant buildings where there's individual entrances for each tenant. And that's not the case on this particular property.
Go ahead with your show.
Okay.
Yep, so we have the north there, the south, and then the next one is the east side there. And then the west side would not have any signage.
And then the other building is just the mirror image. So again, on the north, there would be 2 signs. South, there could be 2 signs. East, there would be no signs, and the west, there would be 2 signs.
So that's what's proposed.
And the matter before us is strictly placement of the signs.
Correct.
We're not asking for, they're not asking for any additional square footage
No
or additional
increases.
signs or anything. Okay. Is there anything that you'd like to add? I'm sorry, you have to use the microphone, Dan. Yeah. They record the meetings. so.
You're on
Oh,
TV.
you're on
Oh, yeah.
TV too.
Everything in the world.
Dr.
is-
Honey, I'm Dan Rydell, and I own the project there, and Dr. Honey apologizes for not being able to make it here. She's got 4 kids, and she thought we could handle it ourselves, so this is another potential tenant that's going to open a store in my building, Code Ninja, and this is Feroz Hanif. And he just came along because he basically, I kind of solicited him with the fact that Dexafit was in that location on top of the building, and he was anxious to go into the same spot. So we didn't realize that a picture was taken from the front to the back, and, well, boils down to he'd like to be in the same position as where Dexafit is.
When he
but-
says same position on the other building.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
so,
All right. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
Dexafit is actually on the front of the building, right?
Correct.
Correct.
It was issued a sign permit for the south wall, which is where their tenant space has interior walls associated with the south wall. The sign contractor incorrectly installed it on the north wall, not knowing that they couldn't have it on the north wall, and that's where this whole thing kind of started. So it is incorrectly located, but if this is approved, then it can remain there.
Okay. It looks like they're on the Washington Street, though. Isn't this?
They
Washington?
are.
They are.
They are.
They
And they're
are.
not
They're on the
supposed to
front
be.
side.
That's an existing sign that was incorrectly put
It
there. It's
wasn't,
supposed to
it
be on the
wasn't
other
supposed to
side.
be there,
But
but
they're facing that.
Their
just because their
storefront does
entrance is
not, if you look at, there's interior floor plans that I provided you for each
Right, that's what I'm
building.
looking at.
Dr. Honey takes that entire north half of the building, so Dexafit does not have any interior wall space associated with Washington Street, so that location of their sign on that north wall is incorrect.
Okay.
But if
it's a
this is
real-
approved, then they
it's a real
could.
subtlety in the ordinance about
Right.
the sign has to be on tent space, is what it amounts to.
Got it.
And in this case, it's not.
Right.
Okay.
The only thing
The question is before us, is that a big deal or not? So, okay. Any other questions?
Couple,
Yeah.
but so does Josh. Go ahead, Josh.
I don't have a question. I don't see this as a big deal at all, just frankly speaking. I mean, he wants the sign space, seems to me that he wants the sign space facing Washington. He has tenants behind the building where the parking and the entrances are. I don't see
I
this
I
as a
agree
big
with
deal.
Josh. We could
Let's
streamline
stay in
this.
order,
I
please.
still have a couple of annoying questions.
Of course.
Excuse me? So my question is that the honey orthodontic sign, which we saw in the first slide, is a high-quality sign. And the Dexafit sign is not bad, but it's a little bit different. So my question is, on these representations, you're showing boxes where the signs will go. And what I'm looking for is there a commitment from you, as owner of the building, to have consistent signs with a honey sign that are high-quality signs as opposed to a box sign or some, if you look at our sign ordinance, there are different levels. This is a higher quality sign, And I'm looking for a commitment that you
I can
will-
answer that.
Yeah, we have that standard.
I can answer that.
Go ahead.
There is a master sign plan for this, and they all have to be backlit, halo lit. Duxafit's halo lit.
So that's the
Honey's-
first quality signs.
Honey is halo lit, yes, so they're all the same
Okay.
type. These are commercial buildings, and because of that, they only have to, commercial zoning, and because of that, they only have to be unified in 2 manners versus 3, so. They
Okay.
have white letters, we did allow colors for the logo, but they're backlit. So there is a commitment for that. None of these signs will be boxed, that box is just to indicate the location
I
of
just
the
wanted to make sure of that because,
Right.
you know, I sat here and fought for a year to get a decent sign ordinance.
Yeah, I know.
So if we can commit to that, then I'm very comfortable with what you're trying to do. It makes good business sense.
We-
For the
What they do
tenants.
has to conform with the master sign plan,
Okay.
and that's what the master sign plan calls for.
Was that included and I didn't read it? It was
There
on-
was a note about the
Yeah.
master sign
It
plan.
includes, yeah, color,
I wanted
size,
to hear
style.
from him.
Well, can't get past Tracy.
I did not.
Okay, because you said you had a couple on that.
Well,
Okay.
there were two,
Any other
she
questions? or
covered them
comments?
for me.
I can issue a motion if you want.
Okay,
So I'd like to make a motion to approve a minor sign exception as part of the amendment to the master sign plan to allow the relocation of 2 wall signs on both the 6071 and 6021 Washington Street buildings, as written.
Second.
any discussion on the motion? Could we have a roll call, please?
Bow. Aye. Garrity.
Aye.
McFarland.
Aye.
Path.
Aye.
Pasak.
Aye.
And Sula.
Aye, motion carries.
We appreciate it, thank you very much. Sorry
By the way, the
to,
buildings look really nice.
we made a little mistake there, I guess, with where we started out with the Dexafit thing, but it came to more of our attention when Mr. Haniff wanted to move into the same spot in the other building. So I think it's in our best interest. We got a unique building. It's in the best interest of the tenants that are in the back,
They are nice-looking buildings.
because you
Nice-looking
can't
buildings, yeah.
see from there. So we hope to move forward. Hopefully, we see a Starbucks that'll come in here and want another unique sign, so.
Good luck.
All right,
luck.
thank you very
All right,
much.
thanks for coming in.
Always room for another Starbucks.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the schedule for next year's meetings. I went through it, I didn't see any potential conflicts, so we need.
Move to approve.
Move to approve, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next meeting is scheduled for the 7th of November, are we gonna have anything?
Yes.
Yes.
We will probably have a public hearing.
Okay,
How exciting.
all right, and floor is open to the public, floor is closed to the public. Motion to adjourn would be in order.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thanks, everyone.
Thank you.